Today I'm going to work on refurbing my oilless or oil-free Craftsman Air Compressor that I have. It's one of these units. They sold quite a few of them. And the symptom I have right now is it takes a very long time for the tank to fill up. So I did a little research online and I was able to find a rebuild kit. Okay, so this is a whole new cylinder wall. This is a new valve plate assembly for the top. This is a new compression ring for the piston. Hopefully the piston's in good shape because I was having a hard time finding a piston. And then these are, you only actually need two of these. But these gaskets came with both kits. These were two separate kits I bought. But these gaskets are for this plate. One on each side. So I'll walk you through what I'm going to do for that. And hopefully I get good pressure. And this tank will fill up a lot faster. I'm also told that this will actually run quieter. Again, which will be nice because this thing is very loud. I did something kind of weird in my garage. This is actually stored in the upper section of my garage, like a tiny little attic up here. And it just keeps it off the floor, keeps it out of my way. Lets me have more floor space for actually working. So, all right, here we go. So we're going to start by removing two Torx T20 screws that are in these recesses here. And that's going to allow us to take just this plastic shroud off this end. So removing the plastic shroud on this side actually releases the shroud all the way around. So give you a quick look here at what this motor looks like. Okay. So the way this works is as the motor spins, this fan spins too. You see that piston there? It's going up and down, creating the pressure for us to build up pressure in the tank below. So we're going to be working on replacing this. We're going to pull this top of this cylinder head off, and the valve plate here is the other piece that we're going to be replacing. There's an air filter that's supposed to fit in here. Mine fell out. I'll probably just put it back in. Looks kind of like that. It's still intact mostly. So, okay, so I've given the machine a little bit of a turn here. The next step we need to take is to twist out this fitting to get this out of the head. I'm going to use a 5/8 open end wrench on that. So now when this is disconnected, you can then rotate this out of the way a little bit. But you got to look at this fitting down here and make sure that this is snugged up when you're done again, in case this might break loose a little bit. So now I got the air line out of the head. I'm going to take this 3/8 socket and pull off these 4 bolts off this cylinder head. Okay, there's one at each corner. Okay, so now all 4 of those bolts loose. I'm going to pull this whole assembly out. As you see, the whole cylinder comes right with it, the existing cylinder. Let's set that to the side for right now. If you can take a look, I don't know if you can see this or not, it's kind of a tough spot here, but this is the original sort of piston ring on the top of that piston. Okay, this is the replacement ring. So you can already see there's a lot of material missing from that old piston ring, but it's done a lot. I mean, this thing's run quite a few hours for me for a long time. So now I've removed this fan assembly. It was a single 3/8 bolt right in the center of the fan area. Not really in the center, but you can see that bolt went right there. So we can get a better look at how this piston actually works. So as this motor spins, right, it's pushing your piston up and then down again, just like a regular engine. Up and down in that bore. And that's how they were able to get away with the oilless design, because that's all this thing does, is just up and down. And then the lubrication is basically in a sealed bearing, in a sealed ball bearing situation. Okay, so there is a screw, a T25, in the top of this piston. It's right there. So I remove that T25 screw. The kit that I have comes with the new screw. That's going to remove this top plate off, put the new ring in, and reinstall this top plate with a new T25 screw. And I'll try and walk you through taking this section here next, okay? So this is some type of plate or gasket, which I'll just reinstall. This is actually the cylinder itself, okay? That O-ring will go right in this groove when we have the new parts over here. This valve plate goes like this. This is the other O-ring gasket. It goes around that perimeter. I'll probably just touch this gently with some sandpaper before I put this all back together, but that's what it looks like. You know, you can put this O-ring in place, flip it upside down, put the circular O-ring in place. We could put on the new, well, I have the new one over there, but put this one in place, add this on again, and then bolt it back in place. Torque settings are 7 to 10 foot-pounds when you reinstall these bolts on top of the compressor. So I'm going to go through those steps right now, just like I showed you, except I'm going to use the new parts that I have. Okay, it's not a part of this, that's something else. I'll reinstall all of that. So I ran into a glitch where I can't get, of course, this to go back into the cylinder this way, okay? So I'm going to have to take that plate off the top of the piston again, remove it, put this in, and then install that ring from above and squeeze the ring down in there. That's how it'll have to work. Okay, so the way I had to make this work in the end was I loosened this screw here that holds it to the motor, and I actually pulled this whole piston out, piston and connecting rod out, inserted the new cylinder cup, and then dropped the piston and connecting rod from the top, and then reattach it on this bearing. And I just got to tighten that down again, and then that will allow it to move in there, and then I can put the new ring back on the top like I was going to.